Hello and welcome to Woolishly. My name is Sanna and you could call me a seasoned knitter. Anyhow, I would like you to add the biggest grain of salt you can imagine into the phrase seasoned knitter combined with me. I've been knitting for 30 years. Anyhow, I kinda consider I've been knitting for a year. My grandma taught me to knit when I was roughly 7 to 9 years old, I think. She was very skillful knitter and she didn't reuse any patterns to do anything she did. She just knew how to do it. So she taught me, understandably, not to read a pattern because, well, I was a child and I wouldn't want to teach someone who's 7 necessarily how to read a pattern. So that's understandable. I learned how to knit, how to purl, how to decrease, increase, how to take stitches on hold. Kind of like the very basic techniques you need. I learned all of those. The problem was that even though I've known for 30 years I can freehand a pair of mittens, I can freehand a hat, I can freehand a scarf for you if you want. I wasn't even, I guess you could say I wasn't even aware of existence of patterns to a certain degree. This might be very puzzling for you to hear, but to me, I wasn't really in social media at all. I don't know, I missed that train. I was left into a ditch and I've been happy in that ditch ever since. I've been just sitting alone there. Everyone else talking about well, just join the Facebook group. And I'm like, I don't have Facebook. Or follow the Instagram. It's like, well, I don't really have Instagram. I don't know why. I never had huge interest into sharing my life online, as you can tell now. So here I am. What happened is my kid started in a new daycare. And at this point, I had been seeing Kutova Kika's video she released, I think it was 2020, 2019, about how you can knit a very simple sweater. And I watched the video and I was thinking well, that doesn't seem that hard, does it? That's doable. It's doable if you follow any sort of pattern. It's doable if you cage swatch. It's doable if you match your needles to your yarn. Maybe I exposed myself one day and so, well, they don't look so horrendous maybe, but believe me, they are rather horrendous. I was knitting for roughly 2 years, I think. And I was making so many garments. And I just kept making the garments. And then my husband asked me that why, you're constantly knitting. You're constantly making all these jumpers and cardigans and everything. And I never see you wearing any of them. There was good reason. I hated them all. I'm not one of those people that, there's a mistake, who cares? I can look up to everyone who's like that. But I can't, if I know there's a mistake, I have to get rid of the mistake. At the level of mistake, my jumpers I made wasn't even funny anymore. It was just one huge mistake after another. And then my kids started in new daycare. I can have different opinions about should Instagram be the only way of communicating to parents from daycare. Anyhow, in this case, it basically is. And I was forced to make Instagram account to be able to follow up with what's going on in my kids' lives at the daycare. When they're going to go to forest or something, I need to do pack lunch. Things like that. And this time, surprisingly, the algorithms work, and the algorithm started sniffing out that, she might be into knitting. They sniffed that correctly. And also my YouTube started sniffing out, and I think that, okay, she might like knitting. Because I didn't know there's a lot of knitting content in YouTube. I didn't know there's huge amounts of knitting content in Instagram. So all of a sudden, I was given the world of different patterns, different yarn. I was only using Novita, which is Finnish yarn, and drops, because I don't know, I only bought yarn basically from this online bookstore. And all of a sudden I learned, like, oh, there's other things going on as well. There's a lot of different yarn brands. There's a lot of people knitting, because until this I was convinced I'm probably the only one in their 30s knitting. Jokes on me. But yeah, I found Instagram and I learned that I know nothing of knitting, and I started learning basically from the beginning. I started hearing of different techniques I didn't know of. I started learning different like ways to construct your pieces, like the drop shoulder, the raglan, and you know, all of a sudden I started making knits I was actually wearing. While I was actually wearing them, and while I got like this like obsession level of you know, I want to be creating so many things, I also started to share this hobby with my family, who quite frankly doesn't care. My family is consisting me and 3 people who are interested in Lego and Minecraft, video gaming. You know, if they can't use my needles and my yarn to build a weapon out of it, they are not really into that stuff. They do not care. And I do care, and I want to share this with someone. So, here I am. The whole purpose of this, I'm not looking for wealth and fortune. I have my full-time job. I'm gonna keep my full-time job. I like my full-time job. I'm working in industry at the moment, or on a field that I enjoy. I'm willing to stay this way. What I would hope is to find some sort of contacts to some knitters that wouldn't, you know, try to make weapons out of my knitting needles. That shouldn't be too much to ask. I'm now on Instagram, but the problem is that I'm such a social media virgin. I don't know what to do there. I feel very awkward going into chats, and I don't know how to interact with people in that space. That's very hard for me to kind of reach out to people and be like, you know, do you want to be my knitting friend? I don't know, is YouTube any better, but we will see. I think I'm also be introverted myself, which I only learned when I was like 37. I realized that actually I think I'm introvert, and it made my life in many ways much easier, because I started understanding why I'm not that comfortable in certain situations. But I guess it's never too late to learn something about yourself. But yeah, hopefully this would bring few people in my life that would have the energy to hear me talk about my knitting and share their points of view and what they're doing and you know, all of that. When I started knitting, I'm not gonna go through here the garments I actually started. I think, now I'm rambling. The first garment I made and that I actually enjoy wearing and that I've been getting a lot of wear out of, I made, I think, March this year. And I was thinking that instead of just trying to put all of those new, everything I finished this year in this one video, I'm gonna do my videos in a little bit different way. I show you my most recent finished objects, which are from the month of September. So 2 months ago. I'm a working mum of 2 small kids who's also studying her master's degree at the moment. So my knitting time can be a little bit limited now and then. But anyhow, I was thinking that instead of sharing all the yarns I've been buying recently, because I don't have my reading right, all the other videos, but I'm reading yarn bands everywhere. And I think I don't need to be promoting everything I bought recently. So instead of doing that, I would, at the end of the video, go through a garment I finished earlier, like a few months earlier, that I've been wearing, to say how it's been wearing, why I like, why I don't like, all that sort of stuff. I also realized my nails are once again horrendous. And as my hands are... there have been people who've been saying that you can follow me talking without hearing what I say if you just follow my hands, because I'm, for a Finn, I use my hands a lot in my talk. I'm sorry if that bothers you. I'm sorry also if my nails bother you. My nails are my least favorite child. I don't put any time or effort in them. They are living the wildest hippie life. They are just like, running in muddy field and having the best life. So if you are here for very aesthetic nails, you probably shouldn't be. I don't think this will change. If it changes, it's going to be that I paint my nails and then I don't remove the nail polish, and then I have cracked nail polish on my nails for the next 1 month. That's the best it will get. I would hope, though, that you are not here for my nails and you are here for my knitting, and then this wouldn't even be a problem. I was saying that in this episode I will not go through at the end how things been wearing, because as I said, the 2 finished objects I'm sewing I've been already having for a few months. This is why I can already tell Leobi how they've been wearing. So my first finished object I finished halfway through September roughly. It took me exactly 3 weeks to knit. You've seen the pattern everywhere lately. I didn't actually like the pattern first. I don't know. I know. Why I'm saying I don't know when I know. There is one stripe in the Stormsweater by Petite Knee that I don't usually for some reason like the look of. Of course you could just swap that out, but it seemed to be such kind of like a big part of the design that I didn't want to just drop it. But then I saw Sandnes Garn. They got me in Instagram. They sold their new colorways, and they had this new color called Sassy Pink. And I knew that I have to do something in that color. I have been thinking that I would like to very much make the Peggy sweater by Lenit. I put picture somewhere here. And I was thinking that, okay, this looks, it's so pretty. I still want to make it. It's still very pretty. I like it. But then this color to me didn't match the vibe of the sweater, that sweater, Peggy sweater is giving. And then I thought that, but the storm sweater, that could be a look. And this will be a pink plop, I think. I'm sorry, I put pictures of, I will promise videos of me wearing it, but I have a feeling that I might be very awkward trying to pose in a video. Wearing, I will try my best. If here's a video of me trying this thing on, first of all, go me, well done, and I'm sorry. But this is the first finished object. This is the Stormsweater by Petite Knee, knit in Sandnes Garn, tin pergint, held with their, is it soft silk mohair? Both in the colorway Sassy Pink. I didn't do this in the normal pergint. I made you shake, sorry. You're on a cat tree. I didn't make this in the normal peg-end, mainly because I already had ordered normal peg-ends for other project, and I didn't want to do 2 projects in the same yarn at the same time, basically, because I seem to be working on a lot at the same time, and I think this is why I get nothing finished. But this one, I knit in 3 weeks. Why I managed to knit this in 3 weeks while knitting other large projects is we were going to England for a trip at the end of September, and I thought, well, I knit this, I get it ready, and then I can wear this when I'm in England, and I can go to the yarn shops, and I can look amazing in my super bright Stormsweater. And England did me dirty. England decided, okay, we're going to give you just plus 23 degrees at the end of September. I didn't even pack this. I'm not going to wear this like wool with mohair if it's plus 23 degrees on my no. So I rushed it. I worked so much on it to get it done in the time frame, to get it to go with me to England, and I never even packed it with me. I like the pattern. I swapped. Can you see? Yes, you can. This stripe here is the one I'm not the biggest fan of. I had to swap a little bit. I kept striping in this garment. It's not in the sleeves in the order it's calling for. I had the weirdest problems with this pattern. I just couldn't make things match. It looked very messy, and no matter how I tried to do it, it wasn't aligning. So I had to be a bit creative with it. I did also the tubular cast off, and well, we get back to it, but I found out that I don't think I really like tubular cast off. This isn't the first time I've done it. I've done other petite knit patterns that are calling for it. But it makes, I think I have some sensory issues, but this feels very rough, and I find it very annoying, and I almost have urge to just rip it, because, yeah, and that's not obviously very good. But this is my Stormsweater. I've been wearing this rather a lot, I think. I've been complimented by I've been getting compliments when I've been wearing it, which in Finland is basically unheard of. Like, yeah, my colleagues, okay, but like, I've been to healthcare with my kid wearing this, and then the healthcare professional being like, oh, you have such a lovely jumper, and that's unheard of in Finland. We keep to ourselves. So I guess it works. And it's been wearing very, very well. There's, I don't know how many times would I be wearing it. If I say I've been wearing it 15 times at least. There's no pilling at all. This is there under the armpit. It's pristine new. I don't mind the mohair. I'm basically living in a fridge. I'm fine having mohair on because it's cold. Yeah. And dark. My first finished object. While I was doing the Stormsweater, I also tried to work on, because I've been doing a lot of stockinette projects, and I thought that I want to try lace, and I saw the Peacock sweater by Lenit, and I thought, okay, I will try this. I think I saw it in a video by Caroline's Knits, Caroline's something, and I thought that it looks lovely. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, don't do lace or, well, anything but basically stockinette, I guess, in the color black. However, I happen to love black, and I don't know how much I would wear lace work. So I thought, well, I do it in black, which hides the lace work a little bit. And then maybe it's kind of like easy enough lace work for me to wear as well. So I'm gonna show you my peacock sweater that you won't be able to really see. This is my peacock. Can you see now? It's just, yeah. I love it. Since I finished this, I love it. I've been wearing this a lot. I knit this down in needle size in the size extra large. Yeah, because I went down the needle size, so I thought, well, I just go up a size. This is not very size inclusive pattern. The extra large is the biggest size, and it's this size. So that could be much better. The pattern doesn't include any short rows, but I thought there you can see a little bit, can you? Yeah, you can see a little bit there. As you can't really that much see what's in it anyways, I was thinking that I might as well add the short rows at the neck. No one's gonna be able to tell. It doesn't bother me. You might have different opinion, but to me it's fine. And I knit this in Mayflower yarn, I think. It's some wool alpaca polyamide mix. And because it had alpaca in it, I thought to be clever and mix it with Isager 301, which is this, it has no give, it's this linen cotton something yarn. And I put all the information somewhere here. To keep it shape, so that it doesn't like start going all over the place. I knit the body and one sleeve of this at the same time as I did the Stormsweater. So I did these two on top of each other in 3 weeks, with the thought of I take these to England. I didn't pack this either. In the 3 weeks, I did the body and one sleeve, and then I just dropped it, and I dropped it for over a month. Because I made just the sleeve, and I made it rather short because I thought that, well, it's alpaca, it will be stretching out a lot, but it was probably like here, and I was thinking that, well, is it too short? And I just didn't get myself back making this, and then I came to the conclusion that it's the sleeve bothering me. I just need to get rid of the ribbing and just make the sleeve a bit longer. This yarn is a nightmare to rip out. And it's also twisted rib, so you twist the knits in the ribbing. And I thought, well, you know, I have to be able to like just get rid of it, make the sleeve a bit longer, and then I probably will finish this project. As I did. I made the sleeves maybe here. I did plucky. It didn't grow one bit. It has to be it's like a trio, but it didn't. It's the exactly same size as I made it to. I made it also rather cropped because I thought, well, it will get a lot of length, and I'm very short, and I don't want a dress. So I made it rather cropped. Well, it's still rather cropped because I think it has to be that it's like a trio holding it together. Like it's doing what I asked the yarn to do. But it's doing it so well. It's doing its job almost too well. Doesn't matter, I guess, because I still like it. I've been wearing this a lot. It's having the slightest little maybe pilling. I don't know, basically that, can you see? There's like one small little pill there. I wouldn't even kind of like count that really. Also, it being black, you can't see that. It's also wearing half of my cat. I got cat before I started knitting, and our cat is basically having the colors of white, grey, brown, and black. So no matter what you are knitting in whatever color, her hair will show in it. So I don't like 0 out of 10, don't recommend a multicolored cat if you are knitting. We love her, but yeah, you can always see her hair in my project. That's just life. That's my peacock sweater. Okay, that was a peacock sweater. I don't have it with me now, but I had almost 4 bolts of leftover yarn in the black from my peacock sweater, and I'm making the Sophie shawl out of it. I bought a pattern. I haven't been that into the Sophie family either, but then I saw the biggest version of the Sophie shawl. I was like, okay, well, that looks kind of nice. So I'm making that now, using the leftover yarn of that black sweater. So in the same yarn, but just the shawl. It's like soon halfway through, I think. I say I make the biggest size, but what I'm kind of doing is I just counted half of my yarn and used half for the first bit, and then when I start decreasing, use the other half. So it's a size it will be. It's just gonna be a size. Yeah. While I was doing those 2 projects, I was thinking I had my aim for this year, or this, I guess, winter, that I do lace work, I do color work. I've done 1 color work sweater before for my mum for Mother's Day. I will try to find a picture and put it here. It was one of my first projects. That actually looks okay, because I did it for other persons, so I didn't try to be clever and do my own tricks. The whole channel name comes from, like, the Woolishly is basically my first 2 years knitting in one word. That's why I already got like booked his name, not in Instagram because I wasn't here, but in some other places, got like took the name, I think 2020. So yeah, this has been coming for a long time. But yeah, I thought, okay, color work. Well, I don't know, like, I'm simple person. I'm a simple girl who doesn't like, this I haven't been making. I didn't wear either of those, so I can sew them a bit better. Hopefully in next episodes I will be wearing a knit of mine that I don't need to try to sew details of in the video. This is a store-bought jumper I have. I'm not the biggest fan of like I like color work. I like color work, but I don't know, do I like the idea of color work on me? Because I dress rather basic and boring and simple and black. And I was thinking that, okay, well, can I find a color work sweater that I would actually like? And then I came across the Kerr sweater. And I like the kind of modern take on the pattern, and it's not kind of like here, it's not busy up here, it's busy at your chest. I don't know why I wanted to be busy at my chest, but I like the idea more. Have busy chest, that's better. And this is what I got the Pear Gynt yarn for, and which is why I didn't want to make the Stormsweater in Pear Gynt yarn. I've finished the color work for the body, and I still have to do the sleeves, and now I just try to get the length on to be able to do the ribbing. And then usually at this point I would have been already done the collar, or the collar. I don't know why I haven't done that. I just haven't, so it doesn't look that amazing, but it's I feel that it's gonna be too small, because this is the size 6, I think, and I feel it's too small for me. But then I was thinking, well, I've done very oversized sweaters this far, so probably as this sweater in the pictures as well is more form fitting. It's not like huge. That it's probably that, because I tried it on before I joined the body. I tried it on and checked, and it should have enough space for me to fit in it. But yeah, this is my color work. It's done in the Pear Gynt This, I have it here. Oh, I have it here. Pear Gynt. I think this is the natural tweed yarn. I have this, and then I'm holding it with the darkest brown they have, which is, this doesn't have to, I always want to say belly band. I don't think it's called belly band. It could be, it's cute. The belly band, that's missing, because this is what I use for my color work. I will have leftover yarn in this, I'm pretty certain. So I need to figure out something to do with that as well. But this is where I'm at. It's driving me a little bit crazy, I think. I sized up from 4mm needles to 4.5mm words. I sized up from 4mm needles to 4.5mm needles for this color work. I think I almost maybe would go to 5mm for the sleeves, because I read, after I started this, I read that a lot of people have been having trouble with the sleeves being too tight. And I'm not having that. I'm not making a sweater that has too tight sleeves. Not gonna happen. So, and it's very hard to try to adjust the pattern to like add few stitches, because obviously it's repeat. So I think I might just do the 5mm needle and test that and see if it's very much different looking like than this is. Then obviously I need to see, can I do it? But I think it's worth a try. It's a little bit puckering here. I don't know, can you see? Which annoys me a bit, but I guess I can try to take a picture where you can see maybe a bit better what's doing. But I think that when I'm blocking it, hopefully it will get better. What I'm terrified of is that after I got this yarn, and after I started this, and after I had done rather good amount of this, I heard that the Pear Gynt can bleed a lot. So let's hope that goes okay. I'm being nervous of blocking this, but I think it has to be blocked. It's been rustic. I know there's a lot of people who say the Pear Gynt is much more rustic than they thought it would be. To me, I can, if I say something's not itchy, I don't believe me. It seems that I can take basically whatever wool next to my skin, and I'm fine with it. Like, even though I have like sensory issues, but they are more for something being tight. I hate something being tight or restricting me. But wool, I'm fine with. Mohair, I'm fine with. So yeah, but this is my Kerr sweater. How twisted can I show it to you? It's very twisted. Yeah, this is my Kerr sweater. I made it a bundle of joy now, it seems, and hopefully this will be finished rather soon. Although I'm being worried I start the sleeves and then it will just never happen, but I will try to push myself. The next one, now I will just rush through these. The next one I'm working on is using some old yarn I had in other project. It's some merino and cashmere mix. I put the names here. Mohair, I bought 4 balls of mohair, and this doesn't even have as much as they usually have. This has only 210 meters, so 4 of those, which adds up about 840 meters. And to pair with that, I bought wool, and it seems I bought like over 2,000 meters of the wool to go with 800 meters of the mohair. And then, surprisingly, I didn't know what 800 meters of mohair isn't enough for a sweater for me. And on the other hand, I have mental amount of wool, way too much for a sweater for me, but not enough probably to hold double because it's rather thin. So I used some mohair into this. When I went to London, I thought that, well, I go to a yarn shop. I sent my family to Natural History Museum and went on my own to yarn shop, only to find out that my phone didn't have any connection or anything working on it. I managed to find beautiful knitters, and I went there, and I've never knit with hand-dyed yarn, and I thought I can buy one. Like, enough to do something. Way surprisingly something. Yeah, I tried to have so many pretty yarns, and I kept going to the pastels and the like autumn shades, like the browns and all the soft colors. And I kept coming back to this one. It doesn't have its belly band either. But this is the Black Elephant UK in the color Gloom. And I just kept going back to this because it's like the prettiest thing. I've been just sitting and just looking at it and been like, this is the prettiest thing. I tried to put picture where I kind of like opened it so you can see a bit more of the colors in it. It has a lot. And then I was thinking that, okay, again, I'm a rather simple person. What is this good for me? What can I make out of it? I was thinking to do the lento, I guess people say, by Jonna Hietala. But then, I don't know, is raglan for me? I'm planning to do a few raglans to see, maybe it's for me again. I don't know. And then I saw, or I thought I saw one woman wearing a striped sweater that had got like this black striping with something a bit like this with the mohair fluff. And I thought, well, that would be pretty to have kind of like the stripes and then to have like the mohair and kind of have them almost like fading into each other. And I found, and I'm sorry, this is not size inclusive. I found the other loops, direction loop sweater pattern, and that had the kind of like more modern feel I wanted. And this is a state. This one sleeve is finished, and this looks like so weird. As I said, I'm short, and when I had finished the body, because I'm making this in the size extra large as well, I think, or something, because I wanted it to be rather loose fit on me. But usually I do large to extra large. It depends. But I thought, okay. I thought I want to make this big. And it meant the body, when I tried it on before doing the sleeves, the body came here. It was all the way here. Almost, I think partly past my elbow. I was like, well, that's something. So my sleeves are a little bit ridiculous, are they? And I'll like, this, yes. But then I left, I got most of this done. Like you can see, it has this back detail where the stripes go the other way, and it's saddle shoulder, and then you pick up and go round and stuff. And I was cruising through this, and then I realized that I don't really like how the hem feels. I many times I do this thing where I do just one set of decreases, like total of 4 on the both, like 2 and 2, before I start ripping. So it gets big. I know a lot of people like the boxy fit, but for me, for some reason, they almost like maybe flare now and then, or it to my body fits a little bit weird. So many times I do the smallest little, or maybe just one and one, the smallest little decrease at the very bottom that you can't even say that it's there, to just kind of like pull it in a little bit. And I tried that with this, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Also here I learned that I do not enjoy the tubular cast off. I did the tubular cast off, and I hated how it felt. To the sleeve I did Italian cast off. I liked this much better. The baby ribbing, yes, the smallest little ribbing, because I was doing the ribbing and then I tested the sleeve and it's already here, and this I know will grow. So I couldn't make it, so I have the baby ribbing here. And now I'm trying to undo my tubular cast off in this mohair mix. And understandably, when I started doing this, it's been just, it went to deep state of hibernating, and it hasn't been waking up ever since, because I can't be bothered with this. This is horrendous. We also got from England. My kids decided me like what bag I get, because I realized I don't have anything when we were going around my husband's family and relatives that I can take any of my knitting with me. So we bought that for me. Also to the plane when we went to England, and which I didn't even end up doing because my husband was like, "Can you take knitting needles to plane?" I was like, "Yes, you can." And he's like, "But can you?" I'm like, "Yes, I can." And he made me doubt it. And then I didn't take any knitting to the plane with me. But I took knitting to a hotel because we shared one hotel room, me and my husband and our 2 kids who are much younger, surprisingly younger than we are. They are under school age still. So I knew that they will start sleeping and then I have plenty of time in the evenings. So I wanted something very easy and simple that I can watch videos or listen to a book and then just knit in the hotel when the lights are very dim. And I started knitting the Stockholm sweater by Petite Knit. And this I'm doing in a size. I need to put the size information on the screen. This is a bit wrinkly because it keeps living in a bag, and this was just, I had to go to school last week. It's like 4.5 hours travel by train to get where my school is. So I took this with me and now it's a wrinkly mess. This color, this is also, I just said I don't want to do the same yarn twice. This is also Thin Pear Gint and Sandnes Garn mohair in the color of, insert here. Is my hair going all mad? Yeah. Anyhow, it's a color. It's got like this purpley blue. It actually is pretty much a color as it shows on the screen. And this I'm doing the sleeve at the moment. I also have my needles on the body, and then I'm missing still one sleeve. I've done the color already. I hope to have this finished, I don't know, before Christmas. I'm working on that. I have in this beautiful knitter's bag. It lives there. The last project I will talk about quickly is one I hate and I wouldn't be really willing to even knit. I try to put all my good thoughts in it because this is going to be a gift. And I feel horrendous that when I'm knitting this, I'm basically swearing 90% of the time, and I'm putting all my negative emotions and knitting them into the dress. And I think you need exorcism with sweater at the end of it, because it's not including any happy and nice thoughts. My mum did me dirty. She came to visit me. She knows I knit. She's been trying to knit now until she hates knitting. She always jokes that she doesn't know where me and my sister get it from. My sister knits, but she knits like socks and stuff, so we knit very different sort of things. As you probably seen now, I knit sweaters. And my mum was hinting that she would want this knit dress. And I kept saying that, well, you can then just make one. And she kept hinting and hinting and hinting. And then we came to the conclusion that we have Secret Santa as among the adults in my family. So everyone buys only one gift to the kind of like random adults you get. And we just decided, well, we just don't put my mom's name in. And I get my mom and I just knit this dress that she so much wants for her. I let her choose the yarn and the color and the kind of shape. And I thought, well, it's probably just easiest that I just use like a sweater pattern I already own to do this. And she chose the Semper sweater V-neck by the Knit Pearl Girl. And that's what I'm trying to make to be a, like, I try to make this into a dress. I have the Petite Knit pattern, the Arrow sweater that you can modify to make a dress. It's basically make it long, and I checked how that's done, and I just basically make a tube because my mum didn't want any shaping. She chose the yarn Charisma by Drops in the color beige, which this is purple. This should be the color beige, but this to me is purple. I'm working on the body at the moment, as you can see, and it's so uneven and so like I don't have the neatest, like I can have be uneven knitting, but this is just, it's doing all sorts of stuff. It's so dry and prickly, and it just feels disgusting. I ordered 16 balls of the yarn. 2 of them are from different dye lots. They are much softer. They are not this purple, and they seem much better to work with. The problem is that I have 14 lot of this awful one, so I kind of have to use it. I hope when I'm plucking it, I don't know how we'll pluck, it's superwash, but I hope when I'm like really grow mentally, but I hope when I'm plucking this, it will be a nicer feeling. I'm forcing myself to knit it, and when you try to hold any sort of tension to the yarn, it feels like your finger is being ripped off. It's not very. I wouldn't recommend. So I don't recommend multicolored or this style of Drops Charisma. I've worked with Drops Charisma before because that's what I made my mom's colorwork sweater in. I don't remember having this problem with it. I don't remember it being this disgusting, but at the same time that was like the 3rd sweater I ever knit. So maybe it was this disgusting and I just didn't know. I'm trying, and then I get the Exorcist, and then they can get all the evil out of this, so that it doesn't just fucking kill my mom when she puts this on for the first time, because this is the work of Satan. That's what this is. And I think that's basically everything. This is at the moment taking all my knitting time because I need to be done with this by Christmas, or well, I need to probably send it over, so like a few weeks before Christmas. And my mum took her time to figure out her yarn. She's like, oh, I don't, I'll let you know at some point. I check them, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Mum, it's less than 2 months before Christmas. Like, I need to know. I need to still order the yarn. It will take time to get to me. And then I need to bloody knit the whole thing. It's not like making itself. I need to knit a dress. And then I need a few weeks to send it to you. So I basically have like 1.5 months, if that, to make a whole dress for you. Can you give me the yarn? And now I'm just pushing myself through this. I hope it will be done soon. I hope it's going to be what my mum was looking for. And I hope it evens out, and that's probably very good time to finish this podcast before uni Exorcist as well, because of my negative thoughts flooding through your screen. I don't know, can that happen? So thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you again. Bye! Happy knitting!